The Strait is going to be reopened, and we're going to negotiate about the rest. Beyond that, we don't really know much of anything. But I will tell you, yesterday, Iran was saying, we're cutting off, talks. We're not going to continue the talks. The president uses some extreme language, and all of a sudden, voila, tonight, we have a ceasefire for 2 weeks. Why can't we just say, you know what? Maybe we have achieved military objectives. Maybe we have taken down their military and their ability to export terror. Maybe we have decimated their missiles. Maybe we've buried the nuclear material. And maybe we've got 2 weeks to make the world a safer place. Why can't we look at this as a glass half full moment?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And jellyfish might as well be the new logo of the Republican Party. Spineless, brainless, full of poison, heartless, cruel, enablers of abuse. And when they open their mouths, it's a cesspool. It's like they eat and out of the same hole. And if you think that's too harsh, just take a look at what's actually happening right now. We are watching a sitting president of the United States publicly threaten to wipe out an entire civilization. Men, women, and children. And then, just hours later, turn around and say we're accepting the Iranian 10-point plan. And through all of that, the bombing continued. Let that sink in. 1 minute it's talk of annihilation. The next it's we've got a deal that reeks of market manipulation. Meanwhile, the White House is out here trying to spin it like this was all part of the plan. That this kind of rhetoric is what brought Iran to the table. Yeah, right. You've got MAGA mouthpieces like Scott Jennings getting dragged right out into the light. And the look on his face? Absolutely priceless.
Why can't you just acknowledge that what Donald Trump said this morning was abhorrent and that no president should ever threaten annihilating a civilization? Why can't you just acknowledge that?
Look, he's talking to them in the way he thinks he needs to talk to them.
Why can't you acknowowledge that?
Because
that is something that no president of the United States should say.
Because I don't take orders from you, number one, and number two, I give him the space to negotiate with the Iranians the best way he knows how.
All right, well, let me just ask a final question, Scott, for the record. Do you think it's acceptable for the president to threaten to annihilate a civilization?
I think it's acceptable for the commander-in-chief to deal with these people in the best way that he can.
Is that a yes or is it a no?
Result.
Is that a yes or is it a no?
So that's a yes.
Is that a yes or a no?
I'm not going to second guess him.
So it's a yes?
He put out a statement. We now have a ceasefire.
Okay.
Those are the two things
I just wanted to ask for the record.
Yes.
That's a yes on your part. Yeah. We'll leave it there.
Abby Phillip put him on the damn hot seat. Come on, Scott. Yes or no? Which is it? Do you condemn the president for threatening to wipe out an entire civilization? Simple question. Yes or no? And what do we get? Nothing. He squirms, he freezes, he looks like a damn frog in a pot. Same rehearsed garbage, same talking points, while the temperature just keeps rising and rising until he's boiling in his own mess. And he just sits there because that's all he's got. Because the second he breaks from character, it's over for him. That's why he has to take it on the chin for Donald Trump. That's what it looks like when your head is buried so far up Trump's ass, you can see the back of his teeth and what he had for dinner. All he could do is stall, spin, deflect, and hope nobody notices what a brain-dead shill he actually looks like in real time. But no such luck there, Scotty boy. We saw it. The whole damn country saw it. And this is where things get really nuts. Because when Marjorie Taylor Greene suddenly sounds like the adult in the room, well, you know you've got blown past the guardrails and driven straight off the damn cliff.
The Middle East remains tense amid this fragile temporary truce, even after President Trump backed down from his threat to eliminate a, quote, whole civilization in Iran.
And joining us now to discuss what's going on, the former Republican Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. I know you recently called for the president to be removed from office under the 25th Amendment to the Constitution after that threat that he made about destroying the whole civilization of Iran. The president has a long history of shocking and unprecedented social media posts. Why was this the final straw for you?
Because it's absolute madness. How can any person that is mentally stable call for an entire civilization of people to be murdered, to be wiped out, to never come back again? That's what the president called for. And that shows that there's serious instability in his thinking, that he would, not only would he even say that in a private room, perhaps with his advisors, but actually go to his megaphone, his Truth Social, and post that for the entire country and the entire world. And it's unreal. This should never be tolerated. I know it's a very difficult, hard stretch to see it actually coming through, but the conversation needs to be had, and he's out of control. And people within the administration need to step up, take responsibility, and rein this in.
Let that sink in for a minute. This is the same Marge who built her brand on chaos, conspiracy, and picking fights on the House floor. But now she's the one saying, hey, maybe threatening to wipe out an entire civilization isn't exactly normal. And she's not the only one. Megyn Kelly echoed that point in a blistering way, basically asking, why can't he just act like a normal human being?
I don't know about you, but I am sick of this. I'm sick of it. Can't he just behave like a normal human? I mean, honestly, like the president, 3 each, yes, shut up.
And that right there, that's the tale. This is what it looks like when a movement collapses under the weight of its own lies. MAGA is dead, and Donald Trump killed it. And you don't need a compass. You don't need a map and a flashlight to find that spot on the map, because we already know we're completely and totally friggin' lost. Nobody is at the helm. Nobody's steering this damn Titanic through the icebergs and uncharted waters of chaos, insecurity, and absolute disaster. And now we're living in that upside down world they sold their souls for, where they tell you black is really white, the moon is just the sun at night, and every warning sign flashing red is somehow part of the plan. Reality gets twisted into whatever keeps the illusion alive just a little bit longer. And the worst part, they know it. They just don't have the backbone to admit it. MAGA has become both ghoulish and delusional as a movement. One that can't take criticism but is quick to dish it out. People that double down and pretend that they are experts in topics that they know absolutely nothing about. They go on feelings instead of facts. They deny science, vaccines, history, and they want to rewrite everything according to, what they think it should be instead of what it actually is. And we blame that on these conspiracy wranglers like Scott Jennings, who's been out here playing make-believe, pretending that everything's calm, cool, and collective. Everything's under control, while the president is out here publicly threatening to wipe out innocent people off the map. It's absolutely sickening, and worse that he can't admit it. But on the other hand, we've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, stepping out of that Georgia swamp and back into the spotlight, redeemed and transformed, saying that she should have been saying from the very start, calling it exactly what it is, absolute friggin' madness. And isn't that ironic that she's not just criticizing Trump? She's openly saying that this has gone too friggin' far, and it has. But what's more important is that she's doing something nobody else in that orbit seems willing to do. She's calling on the people inside the administration to step up and take control, to rein this wild, crazy jackaloon in and get him under control. Because if somebody doesn't step up, if somebody doesn't have the backbone, the guts to stand against this madness, then he's going to drive all of us straight into disaster. And they're going to keep lying to us, keep pissing in our faces and telling us that it's raining. So the real question is, when is enough finally going to be enough? We just watched Scott Jennings get cornered and completely fall apart because he couldn't answer a simple yes or no question. Hell, if Marge Trainwreck Greene can step up and call this what it is, then what's everybody else's excuse? Put the MAGA Kool-Aid down. Wake up and take your damn country back. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.